I gotta ask you this though, Dr. Pender. A lot of black men came from Vietnam with a lot of post-traumatic stress. During that time, what was going on that was causing all of that stress? If you can share with us, so people can get a better understanding of how that was for everybody.
Well, not only black men in post-traumatic stress,
Yeah,
but like me, I have it.
yeah.
It was the environment.
Okay.
A war that we never should have been. A war we didn't know how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
These guys got tunnel from here to Buckhead.
Yeah,
They have tunnels. They could tunnel, man.
Yeah.
I just watched a movie the other night, Tunnel Rats.
yeah.
And I had a tunnel rat. I had in my platoon, I had young men that went in these tunnels, and to find a VC.
Yeah.
But it was the environment, the booby traps, guys getting their legs blown off.
Yeah.
I mean, ambushes where you couldn't see the VC. In the 9th Division, we was on riverboats. We were down the Mekong Delta River, man, and
Yeah.
we go down the river, and all the forests, the jungle, you couldn't see the VC. So that's when they dropped that Agent Orange. The jungle, that's that chemicals
Yeah.
that kill the jungle.
Yeah.
So, like me, I got cancer leukemia from that Agent Orange.
My God.
Yeah, and so they dropped the chemicals to kill the jungle, but it was the environment that you had to live in. The walking and water up to here with you got leases on you, and you got ants all over you. The ant hills high as this room.
Oh my God.
And sleeping in rice paddies and water and it's just how VC would how they maneuvered. I mean, that was their country.
Yeah.
They knew how to maneuver in that country.
Yeah.
So you had to be really trained well, and which we wasn't. We wasn't trained well enough for Vietnam.
Oh my God.
We wasn't. I mean, we trained at Fort Riley, Kansas, and cornfields and marijuana patches. That's right. That's right. I mean, it was amazing how we trained and environment and the booby traps that they taught us a little bit about booby traps, but not enough.
Yeah.
They didn't give us enough training for that, and
Okay.
so it was like, and then the things that we were hearing back from the country, from our own country, about being baby killers and about things that you see on the news media. We wasn't baby killers. There were
Yeah.
some people killed by the bombs that was dropped. Yes,
Yeah.
That's war, but we were soldiers, and that was our duty to do what we were told to do by
Yeah.
our commanders, and we fought gallantly in Vietnam, man. We lost over 500,000 young men in Vietnam, man, and the way we were treated when we came home
Yeah.
was just like, how, why? Again, the word why.
How do you feel like you all were being treated when y'all came home? Because see, for those people in 2025, they don't even understand what you mean by being treated any kind of way after fighting for the country and your life.
Well, for me as a black man, it hurt me. I mean,
Yeah.
it really got to me. I'm giving my life for a country, for all American people, not just for one race. It was
Yeah.
for all the American people, for the United States of America. And I come home, and we couldn't wear our uniforms. We had to wear civilian clothes once we got back to the States, because people were calling us baby killers and spitting on us and throwing stuff at us and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It never happened to me, but it happened to some veterans.
Yeah.
And then, like, little things like when I came back and winning a gold medal from Vietnam, and I took my mother to Shamley up to a doctor. And they still had to go into the back door and sit in a little room, about big as this little room here, with a table and 2 chairs. And the waiting room was up front. You had to walk through a hall to get to the waiting room. And I took my mother. Mom said, "You can't go up there." I said, "Yes, we can." So I went up there, and the lady said, "You can't come up here." The receptionist. I said, "Why? Why?" "Because y'all supposed to be back. Y'all supposed to sit back there." I said, "Y'all." I said, "Ma'am," I said, "this is a free country. My mother's not going to sit in the back of a room waiting for a doctor that she has to pay for. She's paying for this to see." And the doctor came out. He was going to get bad and rough with me, and called me a name. And he don't know I was black belt karate, and I was airborne,
He made a
trained,
mistake. Yeah.
and just got back from Vietnam after going through all the stuff that I've gone through. Coming back and being treated that way, he don't know that I would have hurt him real bad.
Yeah.
And I'll call the police. I said, "You can call anybody you want to call. You can call your mama." I told him. I
Yeah.
said, but you're not going to treat me the way you treated me and my mom, and she's paying you to
Yeah.
treat her. So I got back in the car. I was crying. And Mom said, you know, she was trying to console me. And I said, Mom, you don't know how this make me feel. I said, I'm sorry.
Yeah, take your time.
You know, after seeing what I saw
Yeah.
and been through what I've gone through in Vietnam,
Yeah.
I have post-traumatic stress, so it's hard to talk about. But
Yeah.
it's a thing where you take your mother to a doctor, and you're fighting for people in this country,
Yeah.
and then you treat like a second-class citizen. That hurts.
Yeah.
That really hurt.
Yeah.
And seeing things that I saw, and things that I went through in my second tour in Vietnam, with 82nd, and also I worked for Ambassador Kobe. I'll get to that.
Yeah.
But you know, God made us all bleed one color, man.
Yeah.
And for the way we have been treated inhumanely in America because of color of our skin,
Yeah.
it's just not right.
Yeah.